Hey ho, nice. We got a little
Yes.
screen cap of John Wayne Parr before his beautiful Australian mug came on here full of belts. I think he was holding 300 different belts at the same time, if I counted really quickly. How goes, sir?
Hello, good morning.
Thanks for
Hey,
doing this, man.
yeah, first of all,
Hey,
big thanks for doing it in the morning. I know for us it's afternoon, so us lazy fucks can just sort of like chill out here, but
yeah.
you got up at 7:30 to do this, bitch.
I wake up at 5 anyway, so it's normal. This is my lunchtime.
Oh, this is great.
Oh, there you go.
Your
Yeah,
background of gold things really makes my stupid tapestry look infinitely girlier than it already was.
yeah. Yeah, so every time I go to a different country, I try and buy a little knick-knack just so I remember I've been there. So there's all Japan, China, France, Holland, the whole business. So
Oh, that's
bit of
fucking
fun.
dope.
It's probably like the only gold things you own that you didn't have to knock someone unconscious for. Or did you knock the shopkeeper unconscious for them?
Uh,
He's playing with his
so
toys. Which
can you
one's
guess
this?
what country I went to?
Switzerland, Sweden.
He's got to implement Jamaica.
Uh,
Jamaica me crazy.
That's amazing. Holy shit,
Yeah.
dude. Well, listen, thank you for doing this. I got to be honest, and I'm going to lose at least 1,000 fans by saying this on a primarily jiu-jitsu podcast. One, this is like hip.
Yeah, this is something we're going to get to, but it looks tremendously painful before we get to the topic.
Sometimes I forget.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
That's
a
right.
high price to pay to show us the Jamaican doll.
It comes in waves every now and again. It'll just hit, and then they got 30 seconds and just intense, and then it goes away again. So it's okay. All right, I'm good.
Yeah, dude. Anytime you need a second, just like let us know, and you can peace out or whatever you need to do.
Easy.
So what I was gonna say, at the risk of losing the majority of our fans, you are the first. We've had UFC guys on, but you're the first strictly non-jiu-jitsu guy on the Jiu-Jitsu podcast, and it is the first time that I've been nervous. I was so excited about this podcast, and I've been, ever since we lined up this interview, I've been like rediscovering my love of striking, where like I started watching a bunch of your old fights, and now my entire YouTube recommends category is just like I've been watching like Sanchai fights and just going down like all the like Muay Thai training, watching these pad holders like beat the fuck out of people. And now I'm just kind of like, I know I have a jiu-jitsu podcast, but are we pussies? Like watching fucking you guys train is some of the manliest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's just normal. Yeah, pain's just normal. It's just part of the job. It's worth it. It might hurt, but at the same time, it's when you get your hand raised. So if you get an injury, I find if you get the winner's trophy and you rub it on that certain area, you feel amazing. The pain goes away.
That's an excellent topical relief. Hey, that nice cold gold.
Yeah. When you lose, they better just throw that in the bin. It sucks. It hurts worse.
Yeah.
You just get staph on top of it.
Yeah, it's salt on the wound. So before we get into like proper questions, we got to hit on your surgery that you just had like days ago, right? I saw you jumping rope online. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. So yesterday I celebrated my exactly 1 week since the surgery, and I wanted to see if I could skip or not. And sure enough, I could even got a crisscrossing.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very, very proud of that.
So what exactly did you get done?
I resurfaced. So they have to disclate the hip. They drill out the hip socket. They put a new cup inside, and then they put a cap on top of the femur head, and then they put it all together and suture me back up. So to get the I've actually been lucky to witness a live hip replacement before. So to dislodge the hip out of hip socket, they've got to go heel to bum and then heel to floor, and then eventually the femur head comes out of the socket so they can work on it, and then they put it back in. So but I'm just in shock that it's been day 8 and I'm pain free. I pretty much
Wow.
don't even need the cane anymore, just a little bit for stability. But besides that, it's like, this doesn't make sense. I've got a 30 centimeter scar down my bum, and then nothing. Yeah, it's
Jesus
crazy. It's
Christ.
mind blowing.
Dude, do you ever feel like whenever talking about like surgeries or injuries, because I feel this way, and I'm sure you must even more because you've, performed and competed in front of so many people. But whenever I'm talking about even like my minor injuries and my friends who don't train are like, that's crazy. Like, why would you do that? To me, what's so much crazier is the idea of not training. Like,
Yes.
even during quarantine, I've talked a lot about mental health on this podcast because without training, and I've tried to run, I have just been fucking so depressed. It's been really, really tough. Do you ever have moments where you're like, why did I fucking start this shit? Or is the idea of being like a civilian and not training more insane to you?
No, I never not trained, so I don't know. I don't know what it's like not to train.
Right.
I think it's good. I think it's good for the soul. Even when I'm in agony, I still go for a run. That's like my meditation.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky to live near the beach as well, so the scene every day is like writing on a postcard.
It's fucking great.
And it's just good for the soul. I think just the mind, body, spirit, everything works together. And then like you said, when you don't do it, all of a sudden everything starts building up. So it's good to have that release, even if it's not just a run. A run just just gets that endorphins going through the system, especially if it's nice and early, and it's a good way to start the day. It's better than a coffee.
Yeah. Why do you think specifically fighting, or at least for you, how has fighting kind of improved your mental health? Like when you talk about, because I think a lot of people who have never trained might be like, wait, so if I go in and have a bunch of strangers punch me in the face, that's going to make me happier? Like, what is it? Do you think it's just that idea of doing something hard, of overcoming something, of like challenging yourself? What do you think is it specifically that does help with mental health?
I like I said, I believe you're releasing endorphins through the system, so it gives you a purpose instead of sitting in front of the TV and watching crap news and getting you depressed from watching shit.
Right.
Just go out, and then you go out, go for a little run, or you're in front of the bag or in front of the mirror, and you have a purpose. Every day you want to be a little bit better than you were yesterday. So it inspires you to want to wake up, want to train, want to go for that little bit of run. And then it just feels good. It feels good to be alive.
Yeah.
You just have to. At first it sucks. Everyone doesn't like being tired, but once you can control your own mind to make it enjoyable instead of a chore, and then you'll see a massive difference.
That's great. That might actually answer a question I was going to ask later, but I might as well jump on it right now. Is you retired last year, right? Or was it earlier this year?
November 30, last year.
Yes, so it was last year. So first of all, congratulations on just like, excuse me, a legendary career. So legendary to the extent that all of my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fans were more excited to have you on the podcast than some of our Jiu-Jitsu champions.
Yeah, we're really selling out our sport on this one.
Yeah. So I'm actually back again. I went to Singapore in February with one of my fighters, Rocky. And then I got to meet Mr. Chatro from the One Championship, and he said he was a massive fan, and he really enjoyed my fighting style, and he loved me having me part of the promotion. So they sent me a contract, and it was double I've ever had in my previous. The money is insane.
Yeah.
So instantly I signed for 6 more fights. So
Holy shit!
Nice.
So, I'm so pumped.
That's like the best answer I could have got. I was going to ask, like, what are you training for now? Like, it's just for self-improvement, but man, 6 more fights. Here we go.
Whoa.
Yeah,
and dude,
so, hence why I'm trying to recover as fast as I can, because I want to get on the big stage and fight in front of not only the crowd, but just to be part of the one family. I need that one fight to be it's hard once you fight that one fight, and then you're part of the group, but until then I'm sort of on the outside.
There's something really special. There's something really special about that organization too. Like, I feel like you could watch any random one fight on YouTube and there's something different about it. Like there's there's an aggression with the fighters. There's such a respect from the fans. I think that happens overseas a lot. In UFC a lot, you'll have maybe like a portion of the audience is educated and knows their stuff, and then another portion is just getting drunk and they're booing the clinch, and they've never got into a fight in their life. But there's something about overseas when it comes to Muay Thai, when it comes to MMA, even when it comes to professional wrestling, that the audiences seem much more educated and very like respectful.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's one of the good parts about the one promotion is they want to promote martial arts. They don't just want to promote fighting. They want to promote the warrior spirit, where after the fight, you help your opponent up, give them a hug.
Yeah.
It's just a sport. I've got nothing personal against you or whatever. We're both in the same predicament. So yeah. And then I've fought for a lot of people, and without doubt, one championship is the most amazing, because only a couple of days ago they sent me a bunch of one championship clothes, and they're always keeping up to date on how I'm doing, and they're always putting out promotional videos to try and pump the profile. Without doubt, I fought for K1, and you name it, I fought for them, and these are the most welcoming, family-orientated promotion I fought for sure.
Dude, I'm so fucking excited. Congratulations. You actually just said something that I want to touch on. Can you talk about the culture in Thailand or within Muay Thai about, I think if you watch some Muay Thai training and you've never trained before, it looks like some of the scariest motherfuckers out there. And they're the toughest. They'll fucking whale you with the pads. The sparring looks tough. But there also is that balance where a lot of them also went to like be monks and learn meditation, and there's so much respect. There are people who like will bow to the punching bags before. Can you talk about that kind of balance between the violence and aggression, but also the kindness, respect, and humility?
I'm sure. So I don't know if you've seen my social media or not, but only yesterday I posted about being a monk. I was a monk for 7 days back in 2007. And every Thai male has to be a monk at least once in their life. So my Thai sponsors' 2 sons were both, I think, 18 and 19, so they were ready. And my sponsor Amy said, "Hey, the boys are going to be monks. You want to go as well? You've done everything Thailand. You sleep Thai, you speak Thai, you eat Thai, you fight Thai. This is the only thing that's left." So, yeah, I'd love to go. So I jumped on the plane, went to the temple, got ordained, hair gone, eyebrows gone, got given my robe. And then you get given a bowl with a lid, and every morning would walk a lap around the neighborhood, and then every morning there'd be people on the side of the road giving us food offerings, whether it be rice or meat or chicken or whatever. And then we'd open the lid, they put the food in, they kneel down in front of us, we say a chant to give them good karma for the rest of the day, and then we're on our way to the next person to get more food. And then whatever food we get that day is what we're allowed to eat. If we don't get any food, we don't eat. But if we do, that's that day.
Whoa.
So we're allowed to eat we have probably 6 o'clock morning. We do Buddhist studies with the main monk. And then we'd have one more meal about 11. And then we're not allowed to chew until the next sunrise. You're not allowed to eat again. So you're allowed to drink and have juice, but you're not allowed to chew ice or chew chewing gum or nothing like that.
Wow.
You're not allowed to kill. So as you walk the streets, you're not allowed to step on an ant or swat a mosquito. If a mosquito lands on you, you got to blow it off. You can't kill it.
Talk to it nicely. Try to reason with it.
And then the moment you become a monk, you're equal to the king of Thailand. So it's crazy. It's so crazy. And
so wait, did you take over Thailand after that?
Yeah. So and then every morning on our group walk, we had a blind lady. Her sister would come and hold her hand and put the rice into our bowl, and then she'd kneel down in front, and then we'd say a chant. And every single day that we did our chant, our walk, the blind lady was there. And I was like, wow, this is like so humbling to see how important it is that this lady hopes that one day she has good karma for not only this life, but maybe her future life. It was just like, yeah, just really put things into perspective, how lucky that we are that we're given this opportunity.
Yeah. John, did you take any of that? Was it something you just did for like the experience, or even now did some of the spirituality, did some of the kind of beliefs of the monks, does that still play a part in your life? Or was that more of just like a holy shit, I'm glad I experienced that?
Just being a good person. It's easy.
Right.
Just appreciate what you have. Then
Yeah.
it's the rules are pretty simple. Just don't be a dickhead. Yeah.
Right.
That's what every religion should be, right? Just don't be a dickhead. Fantastic. So tell me a little bit about one, because we get, a certain amount over in North America, and I see a lot of highlights on Instagram. It looks like they're doing kickboxing as well as MMA. What was it? So I should say
they have their app as well, so all the fights are free on their app. So everything's
oh, no
live.
kidding. Oh shit, I'm gonna download that right after.
I'm gonna get it now.
And it's free. You don't have to pay some pay-per-view, and the fights
Are you kidding me? Oh damn.
So world class. They're
We're doing a one
fight you'll
commercial.
ever see for nothing.
Yeah.
Nice.
You're already doing a good job as a company man. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking download that right now.
Sweet. From what I can see, just as a third party watching, is it seems like North America has a little bit more of a wrestling and grappling in their fighting style, and then as we get over towards like the South Pacific and around Japan and Indonesia and Australia, it's a lot more striking in general. Is that more what you see in the styles of the champions over there? They're a lot more like highly qualified strikers.
Yes, we don't wrestle at school. We don't have the school wrestling. We have no idea. But when it comes to stand up, we're old school. You can imagine the 1940s and 50s, and we sort of haven't really been going fast since then. And then I think the Australians really appreciate good strikers as well. Before the MMA got popular, the idea of fighting on the ground was like, yo, what are you doing? Get up like a man. So yeah, and lucky. And then lucky for us, Thailand's only just around up the road. It's only an 8-hour flight away, so it's a big deal. But for us, it's just there. So yeah.
What would you recommend if anybody? Well, actually, let's go basic first. So the majority of people who listen to this podcast are grapplers or MMA guys. And would you recommend for either a grappler or especially someone who is striking, taking time to explore and trying to learn Muay Thai, or if you are a striker, finding a way over to Thailand if the means are right? But a dickhead way to phrase it is, do you consider someone who doesn't strike and who just does jiu-jitsu a fighter? I know lots of people get mad when they hear jiu-jitsu guys say, I had a fight.
No, I think that's cute. That's cool. Those pajamas aren't going to wear themselves.
Yeah.
I'm going to quote that.
Yeah, that's definitely the pull quote for the episode. Yeah. I mean, there's something fucking important about, I feel like just to make...
So the difference between your sport and my sport, I know I'm going to hospital after my fight. Even if I win, I'm going to hospital.
Yeah.
So where your guys, oh no, that's a bit tight. Oh, you got me.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
Yeah, your basic move, just jab, will break your nose, whereas that's a big incident.
So I can get a cut through my forehead, and I win. Got this massive cut. I got to push through that. There's no tapping out for me. And then I've got to keep persevering through. It's not like
Yeah.
No.
If I get hit in jiu-jitsu, I'm telling the referee, I'm getting him disqualified, and I'm starting a Twitter petition to make sure he doesn't compete anymore. Dude, I think even going back to this is why I love, I've watched some of your, I was on the road doing stand-up comedy this week, and I wasn't training because of COVID. I was really depressed, and I was at a fucking hotel, and I was watching a bunch of your interviews, and they were so fucking inspiring. And it's honestly, it's what stopped me from completely derailing. And I think what you were talking about with, that balance of the monks and just learning not to be a dick, I think that what you just described is part of how not to be a dick. I think that if everybody in the world was cracked in the fucking face at least once, like I am very humble when I leave Muay Thai, because even if I, like you said, even if you wipe the mats with everybody, you're still getting punched in the fucking face. Like it's still reminding you of your humility, and
For sure.
hopefully you take that into the real world, you know?
So if you're in the perfect world, I'd have everyone training some form of martial arts. And then when you hit 18, 19, 21, when you start hitting the clubs, a lot of guys get on the terps and they want to test themselves because they've never tested themselves in the gym. Oh, I'm a tough guy. I think I can beat this guy. Is he looking at me the wrong way? And it's like, dude, but if you get in the gym, you've got protection. You can go, if you get, and you realize very fast fighting hurts a lot.
Yeah.
So, but on the streets, you have this self-belief that you can smash everyone, and you don't know what you're doing. And then if you do it with bare knuckle too, and plus there's no rules. I've had one street fight my whole life, and I got cracked over the head with a bar stool, getting 14 stitches down the back of my head.
Oh my
Holy
god!
shit!
So that's like, I'm done. I don't want to street fight anymore because there's no rules.
Yeah.
And then
Should have told the ref. That's what I do.
Yeah, it's just stupid.
Well, and a lot of times the people who start the fights are the ones who have never trained because they have that guy ego where,
sure.
you know what I mean? Like we get to test ourselves. Like I've been punched in the face. I've been submitted. I've punched someone in the face. And like if you go to the guys who haven't, they're the ones who kind of feel like, yeah, they have something to prove.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. It's a weird situation. Let's say it's Friday night, you go to training, you have spars, and then you're good. You just want to have a good time. You're going to hit the joint. You have a couple of drinks. Last thing you want to do is get into a fight because you might be a little bit sore already, and then you might want to train tomorrow. So last thing you want to do is get hurt because you're going to mess up your training session.
Yeah.
And then these other guys like, it's like, what are you doing?
I remember there was a quote from Musashi, the guy who wrote the Book of Five Rings. Somebody asked him why people who train don't tend to get into altercations. He says because they're tired from training.
Yeah. That was very cool.
Hey, I was watching. So for people who, I think this could be a really good thing to talk about for people who have started to compete. One of the many interviews I watched with you, you were talking about how when you first started fighting, and everyone's done this, you know, I even read a book, one of Mike Tyson's books, and he said he did this. And I think it'll surprise a lot of people to hear guys like you and guys like Tyson talk about this, where when you started competing, everyone who you fought before the fight looked like, oh, they actually deserve to be here. Whereas you did. I remember the first time I competed, I saw a guy jumping rope in a hoodie. Like he just had like a sweatshirt, just a hood. And I was like, I don't have a fucking hoodie. Like that must be what real fighters wear. Like, and he just looked so much bigger and scarier and so much more like what I thought a fighter was. Talk about going through that, a phase where you kind of just thought everyone else were these destroyers. And then eventually what got you over that?
So the age of 19, I moved to Thailand, and then I started fighting the Thai. So I moved there with 13 fights in Australia, and then all of a sudden I was shown into a world with 13 fights, fighting a guy with 200 fights.
Jesus.
And then I won my first 9 fights straight, and then I got to the stage where I fought a guy called RNR, who was my first A-class superstar. And he had over 300 fights, and I don't think at both stages I had I think it was my 23rd fight, and it was his 300 something. And then I ended up cutting me 21 stitches. And then every time after that was just another killer. And then I got to the stage where I thought, I'm so nervous before the fight, and then I fight these guys and I win. So what's the point of worry about? As long as I concentrate on me, making sure that I'm fit, my defense is good. I've got enough cardio to go flat out for 5 rounds. I'll just worry about me from now on, and what happens. And then from that moment forward, I get a better night's sleep before the fight. If you're fighting a killer like a Yotzingo or a Zambides or a Borkel, that's a different story because you know, oh, I'm definitely going to hospital again.
Right.
If for a normal person, it's like it's just a payday. It's good. Getting some money.
Do you have a mental practice, or is there something you do if those thoughts start to like fuck their way back into your head, where you start?
I just change the channel. As soon as I start getting the creepies, I just go, I just worry about. I wonder what's on TV. And
Right.
I don't let him. Easy. So there's no point in me. He kicks it so fast, and his legs are so big. It's like, man, I'm gonna smash him.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fucking great.
He must die. He must die. Yeah.
I got a question
So
about
the only difference between me and my legacy is crossing those ropes and proving that I'm right. I know I can beat you, but the only way I'm going to prove it is there's no point in me saying, "Oh yeah, I'm the man." No, I'm going to show you. And then you have to respect me.
Right.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense, right? It's put up or shut up. You sent me a picture when we were chatting before this interview on IG.
Yeah,
not
are
that
you
one.
about to get him in trouble?
No, I censored that one and sent it to the FBI. Of you training in Quebec with Montreal, right? With GSP, Faraz Sahabi, Phil Nurse, I assume.
No, Lam Songkang.
Okay.
That was on the Ultimate Fighter with me.
Nice. So
Phil was my Muay Thai coach back in the day.
there you go.
Hey,
that's fucking nuts.
Yeah, we went to New York and I got to train with Phil one day. Yeah, it was super cool.
Nice. Yeah, as a Canadian, it's like one of the few points of pride we have in fighting because we have so few people. So to have one that's like a star, I want to hear every story about it. So what were you doing there? Were you actually training George's stand-up or
Yes.
what? Yeah, okay.
Yes. So what happened was I did a seminar tour 6 months prior. I did 10 seminars in 10 days all across the country. And then I had two days to finish up on. And then the gentleman that brought me out was like, "Oh, what do you want to do for the last 2 days?" I don't know. You're the guest. He's like, "Oh, are you a fan of George St. Pierre? Do you want to go to Montreal and go meet George?" "I'd love to go and meet George. That'd be insane." So they rang Faraz and he goes, "Funny enough, tomorrow's Muay Thai sparring day. There's gentlemen jumping and do some rounds." "Yeah, that'd be amazing. Let's go." So we jump in the car, we go to Montreal, and we get there, and I'm blown away. I mean, TriStar, this is crazy. And there's a superstar, and there's Rory McDonald, and there's Faraz, and there's George. Holy shit, there's George. So then everyone's around, and everyone's putting their shin pads on. And then Faraz has got his board. All right, so George, you're going to go with John Wayne.
That's your warm up.
The first round was a boxing round. So before we touched gloves, I'm like, "Okay, George, I'm from Australia. Nice to meet you. I'm such a big fan. I can't believe I'm getting an opportunity to spar. Thank you so much." And he's just looking at me going, "Oh, here we go. Just some kid." So we touched gloves. And then we start sparring. And because when I watch him fight Jake Shields, I remember his blistering jab. So I was super cautious. And the jab comes like, "Parry." And the jab comes in, it's like, "Parry." And I say, "Oh, fuck it. I'm going to have a crack." So I remember, just going, let's see what happens. So I started applying pressure. And next minute I'm chasing George from one side of the cage, other side of the cage, back again. And then we change partners. And then a couple rounds later, I'm doing Muay Thai rounds. So again, we jump in. George shows a teep, parry that. And that's why I think I swept him. He threw a lazy jab. So I parried the jab. And then I threw a head kick at the same time, and I placed my shin across his neck, and the whole gym stopped and turned, and here I was, we're just standing there with my leg here, and then after the spar, George goes, "Hey, thank you so much for not knocking me out when you did that head. Anyone else would have taken me out." I said, "Oh no, it's all right. It's just what I do, just a bit of fun." And so then after the spar, George's like, "Holy shit. I have no idea. That was insane. I felt like I was surrounded by 6 different people. That was crazy." And so we did our photos and goodbyes and the whole business. And then I came home And about 3 or 4 months later, I get a phone call out of the blue, and I'm sitting there looking at the internet, and it's Faraz. He goes, "Hey, I'm just sitting here with George St. Pierre. He was really impressed with your sparring that time. Is there any chance you'd like to come back to Montreal and train George St. Pierre personally for 2 weeks?" So hang on. "Hey, Angie, can I go to Montreal and go train George St. Pierre for?" "Yeah, sure." Yeah, I guess it's okay. Sure. So I buy the plane ticket, I fly to Montreal, and who's waiting for me to pick me up? It's George. It's like, holy shit, this is insane. Look at this. We jump in the car, we start chatting away, and it's amazing. And then we pull up to the hotel, and George's like, "Oh, this is the hotel like they keep Freddie Roach and all my other sparring partners and stuff like that. So you'll like it here. It's very nice." And yeah, sure enough, it was very nice. So same in the middle of Montreal. And then we did the first week, and then every breakfast, dinner, or lunch is a la carte. Everyone's in suits. Everyone's like proper crazy, and wearing shirts, shorts, thongs, flip flops.
Yeah.
And then George goes, I like coming to these places on purpose because I bet you I have more money than everyone else here in the room. And it's like, oh, that's so cool. That's amazing.
What a badass.
So we trained for the first week in Montreal, and that was amazing. And then just out of the blue, we're chatting away, and George goes, "You ever been to New York?" No, I've never been." He goes, "Let's go." I ring my travel agent. 2 minutes later, everything's done. That afternoon, we fly to New York. We go to Renzo Gracie's for a week. We'll get George
shit.
pitches a room each at the Marriott. So we're sitting. I'm laying in the Marriott, just going, "This is insane." And then we go and train, and then so George likes to set people up. His thing is you'll have a 3-course meal, and then you're sitting there, you undo your top button, and you just feel bloated. And then he goes, "All right, you ready to go home?" He goes, "No, to go train." To go. We just ate. And he's like, "Nah, come on, let's go train." And I was like, "Holy shit, you're in. So you want to hear funny stories?"
Yes.
So the first night we get to New York, we're sitting there, we have dinner, it's about 10:30, and George goes, "Hey, you want to go out? There's still 10 weeks before the flight, so we're going to hit the town." So, look, tell you what, I'm so jet lagged. I don't think, I don't want to go out because tomorrow I want to hold pads. I want to be on. I don't want to go out and get drunk. And this is my first chance to show you that I'm serious about helping you. He goes, "All right, I'll see you in the morning." So he goes out. The next morning we catch up for breakfast, and he goes, "Oh man, you should have come out with me. Last night I was hanging out with Leonardo DiCaprio all night. Couldn't get him away from me. He's drinking all my alcohol and he had his entourage, and it was so full on. It's like, oh, Leonardo, da da da." I'm like, "Oh no, that sucks." So then the next night we have dinner. It's about 10:30 or so, and George's like, "Hey, you want to go out?" I'm like, "Oh, I'll tell you what, I'm still a little bit jet lagged. I don't think I can. Again, I want to hold pads for tomorrow. I don't want to screw this opportunity." So next morning we'll catch up for breakfast, and he goes, "Oh man, you should have come out with me last night. I almost got into a fight with Little John the rapper. He tried to start. It's like, what's going on? This is insane." So the next night we go for dinner. He goes, "You want to come out?" I said, yes, I do. I ain't missing this one." So then we go to this club, and it's shoulder to shoulder, and they got the champagne bottles with all the glitter coming out, and the DJ's got one of those helmets with the big eyes flashing, and it was just insane.
That's my nightmare.
So all of a sudden, the waitresses come and grab all the alcohol and start moving us toward the back end of the club. I'm sort of going, "Oh, hey, George, what's happening? Why are we moving our stuff?" He goes, "Oh, fucking Leonardo's coming again. He's going to drink all my alcohol with his entourage. I want to get out of here before he sees me. I want to try and fight." And it's like, "No, let's hang out." He goes, nah, fuck that guy. It's like, what? So that's my George St. Pierre, Leonardo DiCaprio story. And then we saw enough, we hid, and I didn't get to meet him, so that sucked. But anyway.
Oh, that's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Dude, and that was just a few weeks with George. Can you imagine spending a year?
No.
So the 2 weeks I got to hang out with him, not only is he a gentleman and just a good dude, but it was like walking the streets with Elvis.
I bet.
So let's say we had to catch a taxi from here to, I could see where we had to go. It was literally 500 meters. And he's like, "Oh, let's catch a cab." It's like, I can see it. It's there. He goes, "Oh, you don't understand. If we walk that's 2 hours."
Wow.
And then sure enough, we go for a walk, and then every couple of steps, people come out of the shops or stop their cars, or even every red light, we get to a red light, and people start calling, "Cheers, food!" And you soon they'll realize after a few days it doesn't turn off. 24 hours, he's got people bombarding him. It's like he's a prisoner of his own fame. He's just too famous.
Too famous.
It was the first time I've seen someone that's too famous that really when he had that little time off after Hendrix, you could tell that he was at the breaking point, where he had no personal space, 24/7 bombardment of just pressure. So yeah, good on him for making what he's done, and the money that he's made, and the legacy that he's left. But it definitely came at a price, so he didn't get away for it. But at the end of the day, the guy is a dead set legend. He's just the kindest, politest, most humble martial artist you'll ever meet.
This is why Canada rocks, Jamie. Pay attention.
All right. I know.
So it's a good thing that you saw. It's a good thing.
Maple syrup. Don't forget the maple syrup.
Yes.
Maple syrup.
Moose, beaver. We got it all. Stay away from the Canada geese. They'll fuck you up. Yeah. It's a good thing that you saw that level of fame, though, because, I mean, 6 fights from now, you're going to have to deal with it yourself over in one.
Yeah. No. It's different. I think the only people that are that crazy would be Connor and George. I've hung out with famous people before, and you get the odd g'day here and hello there, but like George would even have to take his own private security with him every time he went to the club. That there'd be 3 or 4 guys deep, just so people would take photos of him in the club. It's just like, insane.
When I was
even entering the club, it'd always be a backdoor passageway where you meet the special 3 knocks on the back door, and
damn,
oh George. So they'd have his special table ready or whatever. It's like, this is nuts. This is insane.
Yeah, when I started stand up, it was like right at the height of Dave Chappelle's like fame, and it was before Chappelle went to Africa. And everyone said Dave Chappelle went to Africa because he was crazy, but it's exactly what you just described, where he would come to the club and he would try to work out. You know, he had these really great new jokes he was trying to work out, and he had to bring this bodyguard. He had this huge Russian bodyguard, and it was just a bunch of like drunk college kids.
Is that a bodyguard that's in a hurry?
Yeah.
He was Russian.
Always late, looking at his watch. He's just like, "Come on, we gotta go." But yeah, dude, I don't think I would want to get that kind of famous at all. I mean, I feel like in Thailand, especially, like, the people training there, it's different. Like, I feel like some people may see Conor McGregor and be like, "I want to be a fighter because I want to get famous." But in like Thailand, a lot of the people are training. When you said they had 300 fights, it's because they start when they're kids, right? Like essentially to provide for their families.
No, they're poor and they have to fight to make money.
Right.
And it's nothing to do with you're living from these guys in the UFC complaining about making $100,000. Fucking hell! I was fighting for $500, maybe $1,000 if I was lucky. And then I got to give half to the camp. Then I got to give 50% to the camp. So you either love it or you want to whinge. It's crazy. The money's a bonus. If you're getting $100,000 and you're complaining, go get a job. See how hard it is working a real job, and then tell me how hard you're doing your poor thing.
So is what motivates you just
Money.
the love of it?
Money.
It is money.
I don't like working. I don't want to get a job. And then the more I fight, the more that I get money, and the more I'm comfortable I am. So, and then I've been very fortunate to purchase my house and my gym. And then when I retire, I want to be able to say to my family, I bought that through my fighting. That's what's going to be very special to me, is to not waste my time, and to have something to show for it, and then it's worthwhile.
Right.
You've left a legacy then.
You're building a fighting family too, right? Do you have a daughter that fights?
Yeah, Jazzy's had 26. My wife's had 50 fights, and my son's had 7.
Damn.
And I got a 6-year-old. She hasn't fought yet. She's dragging the chain. It's like, come on, what are you doing?
Oh,
6 G's.
get it up.
Yeah.
You go to the playground and try to like shit talk the other 6-year-olds to like attack her. Like, hey, she was saying stuff. Go get him.
No, I take her to the pub. I make it more even. She fights the drunk guys. Yeah.
That's peak Australian right there.
Yeah.
Do you think it would be like, is it Do you get nervous with a fighting family, or does it feel like, does it bring you, I would imagine it brings you guys closer, because there's always part of me that I'm like, do I want to date a fighter? Because I love the idea of just understanding each other's crazy and just always being able to train together. Like, that seems kind of like the dream.
Yes. So my wife's American. My wife's from California.
Oh, word.
And then at the time, she was the most famous female fighter in America at the time. She just won Inside Kung Fu Magazine Fighter of the Year. Year 2000, she won the very first gold medal at the Amateur World Games in Thailand for America. So when she came back to Vegas, the mayor of Vegas did a proclamation where they awarded her her own day.
Oh,
She has a certificate at the gym, where it's only for that year, but on that day is Angela Rivera Day from the mayor of Vegas. So
that's amazing.
and she used to fight for Dennis Warner on the K1 show. She was the super fight on the K1. So yeah, she's so when I first got there, she was the superstar, and I was she had more belts than me. She was making more money, prize money than me. And then when we first met, straight away it was just instant love, because we just looked into each other's eyes and just talked fighting. It was a perfect. And now we're at the stage where if I have to go away from seminars, I know that the gym's safe because her classes are high level and everyone enjoys them and everyone enjoys her personality. And I know she's not going to rub the till. Oh, she does rub the till. She ends up with all these new dresses all of a sudden, but at the same time, at least it's our money. So it's perfect. It's so cool. And then to watch the kids come up and then follow the footsteps. And then my daughter has a passion for Thailand. She's been to Thailand 3 times for 3 wins. Yeah, it's insane. It's very happy to see them because to not have to work and to live a lifestyle that you love is nothing more rewarding.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So when you have to watch them fight, I assume that you're cornering.
Yes.
Yeah. Is it easier for you to watch them fight because you know them, or is it hard because you know them so well?
Yes. Even though I'm her father, Jazzy has a very crazy power to weight ratio. She punches so hard for her size.
Oh, cool.
So I believe in her skill set, and I know how hard she's trained and how fit she is. So when it comes fight night, I turn off my father mode and go into trainer mode, and I don't let my emotions get in the way of her winning. So it's and then it's just so cool too that you let your daughter destroy someone.
Yeah. Well, dude, listen.
So at 16 years old, she's already, before she was 16, she's fought Thailand 3 times, England twice, and Canada, all through the sport of martial arts. So,
oh my God.
Seeing the world for free and learning different cultures, and then martial arts is definitely the way of life.
Oh, well, dude, I'm so happy for you, and it sounds like you have a great fucking family. I'm so excited about one. We'll promote the shit out of that when that happens. And yeah, man, this is great. Just fucking recover, enjoy your dope, terrifying fighting family, and then yeah, we'll see you in one very, very soon.
Yes, thank you so much. That was cool.
All right, thanks, brother. Take care, man.
It's a pleasure, John.
Thank you.